a leading real estate company that has been doing wonders all over the world. And today we are here to announce the bold move. Bold move in the sense that yes, we are set to to announce this in order to enhance professionalism and trust in our clients, in the heart of our clients. Because we found out that for some time now, we have investors coming back to us to ask for refunds. We are not banks. We are not banks. So we are here today to announce this, that going forward, we don't do refund. GTextLand don't do refund. But yes, we are open to buyback. We are taking this bold step of buyback. So we buy your property back. Well, there are some steps we take in terms of buying those properties back. Because, for example, we have some investors who come to us claiming that, oh, they had issues. Of course, we know that the economy is not smiling. The Nigerian economy is not smiling on anyone. But then, investing your money in real estate, we don't just keep that money down somewhere, hoping that maybe you can come back to say, oh, I need this money back. Of course, it's an investment. And we put this money into use to give you your return on investment. We buy properties, we do a lot of things with this money, just so we can deliver on our promises and keep to our words, right? So when people come to say, oh, they need this money back, it's a lot on us. It's a lot. We had to go extra mile to see how we can even pull out some other investments, funds from other investment companies to just fulfill all of this. Okay, so today we are here to announce that no, we don't longer do refund, but we are ready to buy back. And for this purpose, there are some steps in terms of buying back. If you are an investor who has done business with us and you want us to buy your property back, there are some steps. You first of all send us our documents the way it was delivered to you. Send it to us, be it contract of sales, deed of assignment, whatever it is that binds us to you, you have to return it, right? You return it in good shape. Then from there, we can now start processing the buyback procedure. We can start processing that, and for the period of us giving you the money is a standard payment, because some of those investors, you don't pay us outright. Some clients even pay. There was a client who was asking for refund. When we checked the history, we found out that this investor was paying us 200,000, 100,000, 500,000 staggeredly. So right now we are ready to say, okay, we want to do a buyback, and we are going to make that payment staggeredly the way you paid us, and it's taking effect for like 120 working days. Okay, you give us 120 working days to pay you back the buyback process, to pay you back the money, right? So, and this is not just to throw shade, because for like over 1 year right now, we've done over 500 million returns. Okay, just more like in a form of refund. 500 million has gone into that, and that also affects our development, because if we keep doing that, we are not encouraging you as an investor to keep investing. It's like, oh, if I need money, I can always go back to these people. We don't longer do that. That has to stop going forward, and we are here to make it open, to make it clear to everyone, to also enhance that trust, that professionalism, because tomorrow you can't say you were not aware. That is why chairman has made it compulsory for us to announce, because one thing I love about him is integrity. Communication is very, very important, and that is why we are having this press conference, to communicate to our investors and let them know that this is the bold move we are taking going forward.
Thank you, Ms. Martha. That was very enlightening. Okay. No, I wanted Mrs. Vivian to say something, because as GD sales, I think she has a better insight to some of the things that Ms. Martha said.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Steering, for this opportunity. I just want to, I'm a salesperson, so let me use the calmer voice or the attractive voice. Okay, it's not a second war, but again, we are here to just make the rules and to stand by it. It's a company. And again, it is good to tighten up our system. We have some customers over the years that will come and they'll call you, "Hi Vivian, I'm seeing that things are working in this also place, also that place." And when you check, those people are owing us developmental fee or documentation fee. Miracle cannot happen like that. They say charity begins at home. Why don't you pay your own so we can beautify your home? This is just a platform where we share the information we have. It's just pay your documentation fee and developmental fee. Because you will not expect us to use the money for the people, for the customers that have been paying their own to use to beautify your own. It does not work that way. And we've come up as a company, we've come up with a date, a mandate for everybody. From now being the 15th of December to January 15th of January 2025, it is a deadline for every other person to pay their documentation and developmental fee. It's a platform where we'll give you have the mail, send us a mail, tell us your concern. But we've been accommodating every other person. But here is the stand warning, please. As our beloved customer, we are here to serve you, and we are here to give you all our promises. We can't keep to all our promises when we have a defaulters. No company runs with defaulters. So we are all here just to tell you that please keep to your own promises, while the company will keep to our own promises. And we promise you, there is no how you pay your developmental and documentation fee, your estates will not come out beautifully well. As other people, as the other places that you've been admiring their own estate. Thank you so much.
I think Dr. Sinin had something to say to add to that.
Yeah, so thank you so much. We have Martha and Mrs. Vivian. So just to reiterate what is being said, first of all, we've done over 500 million naira in fund as a company in terms of movement of land from us over this period that we've been selling land. And this was so that we can keep a good name. Not necessarily because there was a legitimate reason for it, but you just want to have a good name. Like we say, good name is better than silver and gold. But we still have this. Somebody, I'll give you an example. The last 2 weeks, we've had 2 people reach out to us on ridiculous requests. In fact, last week one still reached out. My father is dead. Right? I want to bury him. Give me back the money I bought land from you. And again, I don't know how, again, to process such, it wasn't a deposit that was made to a bank. Am I making sense at all? That money is supposed to have been put to acquire land. So that you feel you want to bury your dad and you think suddenly we should just refund your money back to you. And then people resorting to threatening staff, threatening our employees. I mean, we've had to inform our legal team that we'll have to probably start taking this up with them. Because people don't do this in UK, they don't do this in Canada. I don't know, some of you saw, I think a policeman was addressing somebody who came from Canada. I said, what you just did now in Lagos, can you do it in Canada? Right? So, what people can't do, people do mortgage in the US, right? You default on your mortgage 3 times. What happened? Right? You lose the property. Right? And you lose it like that. But in Nigeria, right, somebody will have owed you, he says he's buying land, for example. He's paid half. Then he default. Then suddenly he does a video on social media. They are owing me. And we ladies and gentlemen of the press, you two don't ask questions. So they say they are owing the man 100 million. Wicked people. Right? It's not fair. And I realize that this is only done, we do business outside of Nigeria. Right? They don't do it in Dubai. Nigerians don't do this They don't do this in the UK. They don't do this in the US. We have billions of naira being owed to this company. People just make little deposit, and then the land is being tied up. right? Some cases, yes, they pay for land, but they are supposed to also pay for documentation and developmental fee, which is what you then use to fence the estate, do drainage, put security. Virtually all our estate has minimum two shifts, two security men in the morning, two security men in the night, to prevent encroachment. So that those who invested in the company from UK, US, even if you didn't come to Nigeria, nobody will take your land. But that money, where is it coming from? That we're using to pay people, right? And these things are done all over. I have properties all over the world, including in the US. If I fail to pay, I've gotten a mail now, for example, my Houston property. If I fail to pay my HOA dues, they can declare foreclosure. Foreclosure means they literally can sell my house on me. Estate dues. And it's in the law. So, but in Nigeria, we don't obey all these things. And we're all part of those things. All those real estate people, they're all scammers. You can't put all of us in one cage. So for us, we just say, if people are owing us billions and we're not getting it back, can we buy back the land? We'll refund your money. Right? Are we together? Send us the document, because we're one of those who are out of trying to create transparency. We said, you buy land from us, you don't need to touch Nigeria. We'll send you your survey, we'll send you your deed of assignment. So many of these people, will send them their deeds, we'll send them their survey, they should just send it back. Right? The day you send it, effective from that day, a 120 working days is counted, because also we need to resell it. Am I making sense at all? We didn't keep the money in the bank. We need to resell it and then be able to pay you back. What we have decided to do is, because when you sell a land, you are paying about 15% in commission. You have other administrative dues. That's why typically, even what they sign, sell minus 30% administrative fee. What all our clients are. But we're even saying we don't even mind. In some of these cases, we refund 100%. We'll bear the brunt, right? And we refund 100% based on this procedure. It's a procedure. We are not a mushroom organization where you see people just calling, oh, I need my money back urgently. I need it now. You have till. I'm wondering what exactly is going on. It's an organization. There's a process. So for us, it's 120 working days from when you send us back the document. They start processing, and then the refund is done, and we're excited about this because we feel, again, we're the first to do this, right? But what this will help us also do is at least help people to know we are committed. Am I making sense at all? To integrity, to transparency, to best practice in the industry. But please, nobody should just harass our staff, call and then make vulgar statements on phone, make threats on phone. These are criminal issues. When you buy land from me, it's civil. Do we agree? Right? When you threaten me, it's criminal. So we don't want situation. That's why we're being transparent about this, to educate people. We don't want a situation where they say, oh, GTex is suing their customer for threatening their staff. Then everybody go rampage on social media. Oh, what kind of company does that? What kind of company is this? I don't think it's right to threaten anyone. Nobody does that in America. Nobody does that. And we are doing business in these places. We don't have this kind of problem. Right? So I will advise that and by the way, let me say, these are just a small group of customers who've enjoyed some of the best, and we need to emphasize that, right? Let's assume we have 5,000 customers. I'm saying that this is just maybe about 20% that you have who are owing you. But that 20% is still amounting to not 1 billion, not 2 billion, billions. So we want to also be clear that we've enjoyed some very, very good customers, and they are in the larger percentage. customers who are grateful for their interaction and their business transaction with us as a company, customers who have treated our organization and our employees with dignity. The last time I was in London, a customer gave me a gift to give a staff, right? A staff of the company, and she's so grateful the way the staff had managed her. So we have those, and we must thank them and appreciate them for what they are doing. And we are promising them that in 2025, they will see even better growth, right, in the organization, in what we are doing in terms of our Nigerian operations, because this press conference focuses on more of our Nigerian operations. We also want to say that in view of inflation, we're also increasing prices of all our landed properties by over 100%. Right? Again, these are some of the things we couldn't do this year that then are part of what affect our slow pace in our Nigerian construction this year. Okay? Because again, you couldn't, like I said, we started with 500. We started with 500. Can they please give a share to one of our lawyers is here from Falano Chambers. Please come, give me a share to see. Okay. Welcome. So, we make sure that our lawyers are also here. Okay. So that people know we're serious about this. Like I said, we don't want customers to threaten our staff. I don't think it's right. I have lived my life in this country treating people the best way I can with dignity. And I think everybody deserves dignity. I once had an experience where I came to our office in those days when I was very actively running the business. And the general manager used his shoe to throw it at the staff. He lost his job that day. He lost his job. And I made it clear to him, I founded this company. I've never thrown shoe at any employee. Right? People must be treated with dignity. I think there's am I making sense at all? We should treat each other with dignity. And for us, that's what we're saying. That you did business with us does not mean you call our staff and you are threatening them. It's not right. Right? Who is that, please? That you did business with us does not mean you just wake up and say you want to do burial, you want to do wedding, you want to do this, let us send you money. I mean, yes, you are surprised. That's what we are facing. That's why we're doing a press conference. We can't take that going forward. No serious organization that has a future, right, will run business that way. And we are hoping that people who fall into this category, like I said, they are just in their 20% range, right, will desist from such. They may have done or had some experiences with other companies. We're a different one. And we have carried ourselves with such level of dignity, and we have communicated our level of dignity to people, and everybody can see that very clearly. So thank you. Do we move on to other parts or we take questions?
I think we should take questions first so that we get this part settled before we move on to other things. Okay. Gentlemen of the press, over to you. Does anybody have questions? Or is it all clear?
I greet everyone. My name is Rotimi from Nigerian Tribune. Lovely presentation, sir. I'm glad that you're making giant strides, especially in the real estate sector in Nigeria. But like you said, we would always have people divergent who would always look for trouble, even where there's none. And I think we need more stringent policy formations, from our legislators, from the judiciary, when people know that there are actually punishments for certain stuff, especially on social media, which is why people have been calling for some form of regulation and all of that. I just want to know, has there been any engagement between, you are the face of, the real estate sector especially for this. Has there been any time that there have been, engagement with the legislative arm of government, or the government of, say, in Lagos State, for instance, or wherever you do operate? Do you engage them from time to time to make sure that they come up with policies that safeguard your interests? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. I think a few weeks ago, like Toby said, we did a conference. In fact, Mr. Falana was there, representative of the governor was there, Michael Kiro, who was a former head of police, was there. And we had a very robust conversation about the sector, about the challenges of the sector, and some of these things were raised. In fact, Lagos State gave a lot of feedback that they now do civil settlements, which we've been part of. Like we've had situations where people have said they want refund, and they went through those civil conversations with those agencies, and we all agreed, and refunds were done. But I think the ones that frustrate are the ones who just write a petition to EFCC, call the police. In fact, Mr. Falana and his lawyer is here as well, made it very clear that police has no business with land matters. This thing has been ruled at the Supreme Court level, right? But you still see, invitation here, somebody bought land, he wants his money back, or he turns, I think part of it is our criminal justice system. Now, the criminal justice system has a loophole, where once you say threat to like breach of peace, right? The law says the judge can remand in prison, even without evidence. And that needs to be fixed, right? You cannot just say threat to life, breach of peace, without evidence, right? So usually, there's a lot of connival that goes on between people and police, and then you arrest the person. By the time you lock him up for a while, he has no choice, and then you say, oh, we'll not release him, except you will do something. And so we've had, of course, we've had situations that, thank God, being that we've had Falana Chambers being one of our legal firms, we have about 5 legal firms that work with us, but they are the most senior. And they've had to sometimes even call EFCC officials and say, inviting these companies, I hope you know that you are breaking the law. Right? You are stopping people from doing their job over civil issues that can be handled. Even Lagos State has Lastra and Sarah, and they were around also at the conference to say, we handle disputes. We've gotten people to get money. But I think sometimes it's just that, one of my public opinions, I do a lot of papers, I don't know that's not what you did, is that Nigeria is a country of bullies by the bully for the bully. And the bigger bully wins. Right? I'm being honest with us. It's the way the system, even someone who does not have any connection, wants to bully a rich man on social media. I've shared before how one day I just saw Stephen Akitayo is owing 75 million naira, has refused to pay. I'm like, so I had to call the office. But 75 million. Ooh. First of all, me, Stephen Akitayo, even my agbada here, I will not buy except I have my full money to pay. Right? Bodhi is one of my tailors, you can ask him. I don't owe. So, and there's a difference between Stephen Akitayo and GTextHomes Holdings. And GTextHomes Holdings, I'm an investor. I'm no longer a director. You can't even see my name as a director of any GTextHomes company. I am an investor like someone who paid for land or somebody who invested. And even me, I've been asking these people on this table, where is my dividend? And in 2025, if I don't get it, some of them will have to lose their job and somebody will replace them. That's true. I'm an investor. So when you then put my name and then attack me as though you paid money to my personal account, right? And then when we got to do investigation, we realized that this guy was an agent who claimed he was an agent of a land he bought and he didn't give him a commission. And then, okay, where is the agreement where you agreed with our lawyer for 75 million? There's none. The police then invited the seller to say, okay, your agent is troubling your buyer.
Why is your agent doing that? You know what the seller said? I don't do this agent. He said, in fact, I thought it's their own agent. Well, like, our own agent, how? And yet this guy petitioned newspaper houses, paid bloggers to carry this story. Okay, so how long do we continue, right, with this culture is what we are saying. But the laws are there. I think the main one that needs to be fixed is our criminal, right? Is it code of law? Criminal justice.
Do you want the mic, sir?
Law. Do you want the okay?
We can offer you a mic, sir.
So, not yet. So our criminal justice, act or law needs to be amended so that if you say somebody threatened your life, show evidence before we remand the person to court. I mean, remand him in prison. Else, it should just be a civil issue. The person goes, right? If there's no evidence. But what they do, like I said, they connive with police and then go out there and say, threat to life, breach of peace, and then before you know it, they say, oh, threat to life, breach of peace. And these are part of what is killing the Nigerian economy. I'll give you an example. 2019, we pay tax, right, on some of the sales we made that year. Are you aware? Almost 20% of those sales we've had to refund the customer. And because some of them bullied with EFCC and police, refund had to be done in full. Now, will federal government refund the tax of 2019? If as a result of that, nowadays we've had to change our policy where we don't, when you pay for land, we just see it as what do the word we use now? As what is that contract? We just see it as okay, an inflow. Right? Not yet, because we are not sure. You can come back again and say, I want my money back. Okay? So, because 2019, we will pay tax on it, and then somebody come and use agency of government to pay tax to harass your staff. Right? To harass your staff. So, we hope, these are, but we constantly are engaging. Next year, we'll still have that conference. We'll try and bring some legislators. We hope they will make themselves available because Nigeria, everybody is a big man. And sometimes we are not willing, when we fail to realize we are public servants. And we should be willing, right, to have national discourse, issues, that we all can discuss and see how we resolve issues.
Okay, so I think that answers Mr. Rotsman's question. Okay, I think Omalara asked first.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Omalara Debayo, representing Punch. So my questions are in two tiers. One for maybe the customer. So I want to understand that from the onset, there's been a communication that, distinctively communicates that they cannot be, maybe you want to sell your land. Have there been any communication passed across to these sellers, or buyers rather, that they cannot refund, ask for a refund? Have there been an MOU to that regard? Because where there is no offense, where there is no law, there is no offense. We must understand that. And the purpose of, there are some reasons, diverse reasons why people just go into buying of land. It might be to also sell later, and it might be to build on.
So the issue is, our laws are very clear. In fact, we made it so clear that at some point you want to buy land from us on our form. We have it on the form, right? Subscription form, we have to put it there. And part of the clause is we don't do reform. Now, if for any reason we have to do reform, it's minus 30%. It used to be 90 days, 90 working days, now it's 120 working days, and it's staggered. But what we are saying is that in spite of people signing those things, right, what we are saying is this blackmail, right? Trust me, this conversation is not about law. If it's law, they will take us to court now and they will win. Does that make sense at all? So this is not about law. This is about blackmail. And I'm talking about threatening staff. Some of them have had to resign. Because you know when, and somebody who is, and most of our customers are way older than our employees, right? So imagine a good man shouting on phone, I will jail you people. You're all criminals. You're all, right? And a person go and a young person, hey, baby, I'm just an employee, I beg. Right? So we get, I have gotten a lot of those things. I had one experience once, many years ago. In those days, I was very much actively involved. And this guy said he's a military guy, he works in the US Army, and that he's going to deal with me. I remember saying to him, report me to, I said, well, you know CIA, I think you should add them. FBI, CIA, Interpol, add them to do so. Because it was a civil transaction. I did not take money from your pocket by force. Right? You saw what we're selling, you willingly invested, right? Now, if you think whatever we said was not true, what are you supposed to do? Take us to court. So I remember I had to say to him, I said, because we had moved our office from Mumbai then to Omani. I said, here's our new address. So that you don't go to the old address and say, they disappeared. We operate from, you can come from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. I am in this office. Come and carry out your threats. How many employees can say that? Right? Of course, when he came, all he said, because he traveled down through from America. By the time he got to house, oh, I didn't know you people are this big. I didn't know you people are this big. Give my receipt, give my receipt. And that's I ended it. But how many employees will not have been scared? I don't know how you understand. Because this guy is a military guy, he's quoting this thing, he's older than you, the whole thing sounded like, you know, and they would throw words here and there. And so we feel, and we've had reports where employees have been concerned about these threats, right? And I'm saying if we continue like this, remember, we are now also in the US, right? Some of our people who do business with us in Nigeria will go and threaten somebody in America, and then they will sue. And then people will now start saying, GTEx sue, or GTEx employees sue customer, all of this. And that some things are just not tolerated in modern society. And the earlier we educate, that's why we're doing this press conference, the better. That you can land in jail for threatening someone because it's criminal. But if you do transaction with somebody, it's civil. Go to court or go to mediation. Even our contract clearly stated mediation. Right? So why not do that, but resort to threats, resort to social media blackmail, resort to all manner. Right? So these are things we're trying to educate people, and that's why we're doing this press conference. Say, let's be aware. I want you media to please get this to go viral. By the way, we're not the only one facing this. In fact, ours is easy. Of all real estate companies, we are the least going through this. But again, you know our approach is a bit different from others. We're a global brand. Right? So some things really, really have far-reaching consequences. I, for example, now have an executive assistant who is an American who now handles my phone. I'm having to try to explain that, well, now that you handle my phone, occasionally you get threats. So. And Nigerians are just like that. They don't mean, they don't, exactly, it's just the way we talk. But no American can understand that. Right? So it's better we just start educating before things go out of hand. And then people know what's going on. Things are changing. We're now a very global organization. And you know, in Nigeria, you can just accuse somebody of anything. Anything. Just wake up and accuse anybody of anything. And even press people carry it. Right? ABC now is compensating Donald Trump for something they said. Right? Donald Trump lawyer was was asked to pay very huge money to the software, the company that did the software for US election, for some claims he made that the software wasn't working well. And in fact, the man is bankrupt right now. Donald Trump's lawyer, what's his name? Used to be former mayor of New York. So these are the kind of countries we now do business. Are we together now? Should we be having, and because we notice this could happen if we continue like this. And That's why we're trying to put this press conference to say the company has changed. We are not who we used to be. And it's no longer a Nigerian company. We have an office, very big office now in KD, we are in Dubai, you know, we're in UK. So you may just end up sending something to a wrong staff who is not Nigerian. He panics. Our group CEO, I think he's joining us virtually, is a Pakistani. The day he was to resume in Nigeria, he said everybody to him, don't go. Don't go, they will kidnap you. Right? Anything can happen to you. In fact, I joked with him when he finally arrived in Nigeria. So I told them to bring him to one of our estates in Abuja. So as he arrived, I just said, we are kidnapping. We were all busted to laughter. You know, because but those are the things you will see. Just Google Nigeria for Pakistan. All you see is kidnapping, travel warning, red alerts, be careful. Okay? Government isn't doing anything about it. And we are saying that we're not getting foreign direct investment. So my question is, so imagine you just send messages, even our group CEO kept constantly said this, Dr. Sylvia, I don't want to see you again, anything GTex. Let them talk to us. We run the company now. Right? Let them talk to us. Let them stop dragging your name on everything that has to do with the organization. And we hope that this year, 2025 will be that year that we'll officially get, because I have many things I'm doing. We're about starting a food bank in Lagos and in Houston to start producing, giving food to people from end of next year. There's a lot of things happening. We're starting a production company. We started it's registered. So next year we're going to start movies. We're going to start YouTube series. So there's so much to me, so much cap. Or you keep dragging me with all these other things where there are professionals who are on ground, who are to do the job. You know, or you then threaten employees who think it's not right.
Dr. Stephen, please, let's not let all the cats out of the bag yet. Let's undo the dangerous matters before we move into softer matters. So I think Mrs. Allison has a question.
So I'm sure she's the last. So
yes. So my question is to the lawyer. Although he spoke more on it, but then I would like to ask that should there even be a refund in the first place, especially if it has been stated that maybe in terms and conditions that there's no that they don't do refunds. So in the first place, should there be a refund? Then the doctor said if that they are going to start payback and
buyback,
yes, which is going to be 100%. Is it sustainable? Because I can imagine now I buy a property from you, then my daughter is getting married. I come back to your company. I need my money. My daughter wants to get married. Is it sustainable when everybody keeps coming back and you?
So let me talk on it before the lawyer.
Sorry, sir. Because something just occurred to me from her conversation, because based on current valuation and inflation and all of that, if you're doing a buyback, will inflation rates kick in? Because if I bought at 100,000 a plot last year and inflation has gone to 13%, would you calculate based on current valuation or?
My brother, you want to?
Exactly, I don't even understand.
Are you wrong?
First of all, we are not saying, please everybody.
Please let's pay attention.
We are not saying this is an ongoing case. We're just saying we have a 30-day window. You are owing us money. You do not pay. Then you automatically don't have land. That's what we're saying. And that we are willing, you following this process, to refund what you have paid. Because this is a case that most of these people have not finished paying. They are still owing on document or owing on development levy. For example, to your question on inflation, we said you needed, I'm just give an example, 4.5 million for us to do internal road to your land, do drainage. Sir, 4.5 million does not cover it anymore. As at the time you were paying, cement was 2,800. Today, cement is over 11,000. So we are the one facing the inflation conversation. So even if you then pay us today, the 4 million we agreed as development levy, it can't still cover the infrastructure we are supposed to do to where your land is. Some of these land are waterlogged. We need to sand fill it. Sand then used to be, I think, 40,000 per 20 ton or something, whatever. Now it's 100 and something. Right? 160,000 now. So these are the issues we are saying. And if we keep quiet like this, right, it will become a failed estate. And everybody will say, and that's what's happening with a lot of our colleagues. You don't say, oh, GTEx did not deliver. Their mouth is sweet. Okay, but it's a case of you bought land from us 5 years ago. You refused to pay documentation fee, development levy. Some, you just make the deposit and you disappear. Right? And then you will now later accuse us and say, because if we don't do this press conference, what will happen is that they say, no, they sold the land to more people than are we together. So we're making a clarification. If you don't have land with us again, if you don't pay us what you owe us in the next, and we're talking, like I said, we're talking about billions here being owed. Right? Salaries have to be paid. You know, things have to be done. Contractors have to be paid. And it's still people that will say, don't mind them, they are owing their contractors, they are owing their this, they are owing this person, they are not doing this. Hey, we don't plant money behind somewhere. Right? It's as we do business, we then, use those money. So that's the case. And I'm happy you raised that. So it's just a one-off to say, even if you don't send us your document, you still don't have land with us. That's the bottom line here. You are owing us, by 15th of January, you don't pay. You don't have land with us. If, of course, you pay everything, we are even doing more allocation as we always even bring you media people for allocations. We constantly are doing allocation. But we don't say you have land with us because you deposited 20% 10 years ago. And we are saying this so that when you see all this blackmail stuff, it's not something, a whole bunch, you now carry a blackmail video.
Okay, so to simplify what Doctor has said, Christmas has come early. Come and finish your payment and collect your everything. If you did not collect it before Christmas is over, then when children go back to school, don't have land. We are willing to give back money. Just come and finish what you have. Or say that you don't even want the land again. Bring documents. We will collect it. And we'll give you your money back. We will do business. But to do that business, we need to maintain integrity. And maintaining integrity is communicating, telling people what is what ahead of time. And so this is the notice. This is the 30-day notice that everybody needs. So, over to Black.
Thank you. Generally speaking, regarding that refund aspect, customers or clients are entitled to a refund in some certain circumstances, such as where there is breach of contract, that is where the company is unable to deliver on its mandate, or where the client is unable to continue with the payment, they can write formally and ask for a refund. However, even the Supreme Court itself has said that the Supreme Court will not bother to make an agreement for parties to a contract where one subsists. Where parties to a contract has agreed on the modality to be banned, inviting any agency or so to come and help you get what is clearly against the terms of contract is not allowed. But in some situations, equity will not allow people to suffer in vain. Equity may want to step in to see how they can modify with that procedures that Dr. Elliott mentioned.
Like mediation, right?
Apart from mediation, before getting to mediation, if you write formally to state that you are unable to continue with this contract, they may say you are going to forfeit so amount for administrative charges it will take period of time for them to process your refund, and maybe they are going to pay you back in the form of staggered payment. All those things can still are still internal remedy to ensure that you don't lose everything. Thank you.
Okay, so what you're saying now is even if you say that you want to collect your money back, you cannot stipulate that you want your money back immediately.
Yes, especially where the breach of contract is not from the organization. If it is from your side, you cannot dictate the terms of it.
So if you have bought land and you have not finished paying, and you want to collect your money back, you can't come and say, oh, okay, they said they want to do buyback. I want to collect my money by that 15th of January. No, you will wait and read the contract that they sent to you again. You are trying to enter into a new contract and you must follow the law. So, thank you, Barrister.
So, it's also important to say this is a one-off. It doesn't mean we'll do it again. Well, it's part of the benevolence is talking about is what we're doing. To say we're seeing a situation whereby some people, due to economic reasons, why they couldn't finish paying us, right? And we're advising them to say, write us, refund, return all the documents we gave you.
The original document.
Right, that the original document we give you, because we use DHL to send it to them at no cost on their part. We paid all of that. So return it back, right? And then we start processing your refund. That's part of the benevolence. Part of the benevolence is that every one of them, we indicated that we will deduct 30%. Am I making sense? And we're saying we may consider not even removing any deduction.
Dr. Simi, before we started this press conference, you should have won a Christmas hat. Because this is Christmas gift that we're talking about here.
Right. So we're saying that's why that the contract says we will deduct. We're even willing, right, in some cases to say we'll give you back the full money. Right? And do you agree that's fair?
Yes.
So, but we want to make it clear because we know there are some people who will make trouble on this. Right? But haven't done a press conference and everybody, even they start blackmailing, there's evidence. We inform everyone. And by the way, we have been sending notice of default for some people for 3 years, some people for 5 years, some people for 2 years, some people for 1 year. In fact, some people will use a software to just every month. And part of it says you are owing us 10% of what is due every month you default. And so some people, what they are even owing us is times 10 of what they actually paid before, or were owing before. So, but all of that is just to say, let's do this amnesty program, right? To say we're willing to buy back, right? Let's all move on. As a company with integrity, but there is a procedure, right? It's 120 working days, it's staggered refund, and we know that we can then get new customers to do business with us. Because some of those have just tied it down, waiting for these people to pay us. And that is affecting us having the raw resources to develop the estate fast, right? Because we've just been waiting, and we can't keep waiting. So we rather move on, have new customers for those places who are ready to obey our term, who are ready with the rules, are ready to pay. We've even adjusted, we are no longer doing flexible payments for 3 months, 6 months anymore. Flexible payment or installment is now 30 days. Outright is now within 72 hours, max 1 week. Right? So that we don't drag. Else we'll be accusing and say, this is their estate, they are not building it on time. And we are not building on time because people are dragging their own payments, and they are also implicating other genuine customers, faithful customers who paid everything and are not paying anything.
Thank you very much, Dr. Steven, and thank you very much for the questions. So I think it's time to move on to the next line of business. Dr. Steven, you mentioned earlier about the food bank that you're starting in Nigeria and the US. So I'll let you speak more on that, and also the agribusiness, which I believe is the focus for the year 2025. Since we're at the tail end of the year, it's time to project for the new year.
Is the CEO here now for Leaders Farm?
No, she's not. We don't have her here yet. She's still out of here.
Okay, so one of the things we are also doing for the year 2025, we realize that some of
our land, because we have a culture where we don't always sell all the lands we have. We always reserve a good portion for our housing scheme in the future. However, we realize that in the meantime, while we're waiting for the economy to stabilize, because some of you will have noticed we've slowed down our housing. We only do it off plan when it comes to housing, and the client must be willing to take up the inflation and the variation in pricing while we're building for them. But so that has slowed down the volume of houses we can sell. But in the meantime, we have all this land. We decided to start agro-tourism, where we're going to be doing processing, crop farming, and animal farming. And we're taking one estate at a time. So what we're creating is a situation where people will be able to visit some of our estates from next year. We're going to be starting one estate after the other. And our goal is to have, you can lodge there, be able to get fresh milk, you know, to visit the farm, vegetables, you know, have beautiful experiences. We call it rural luxury, okay? A rural luxury experience. Lagos is polluted, and many of our urban cities are polluted. We know what I'm talking about. And sometimes you just want to disappear and just have those peace and quiet experiences. So these are some of the new innovation we're going to be introducing to all our estates going forward. We also are starting the Stephen Akitayo production, and it's going to be, it's now a registered company in the US and also registered here in Nigeria. And we're starting with a few YouTube series. We have two movie scripts ready, but we want to push the YouTube series first, so that we can build our own audience, just like Tyler Perry experience, where you already have created the customer, right, for your content before it's fully developed. And our vision is that hopefully by the end of 2025, we will at least have completed production for maybe one of the movies, and we know that by 2026 it will be the year of releasing it. But watch out, from March next year, you are going to be seeing us releasing YouTube series. One of it is to resolve real estate crisis, right? So we're going to be playing out what goes on in the real estate industry, including customers who threaten with removal from abroad, right? Including Manila experiences, including government issues, so that we can further educate people about what goes on in the sector and ultimately touch light so we all can resolve a lot of the challenges we face in our business. But we're having several different YouTube scripts that will be coming up with the Stephen Akitayo YouTube channel. It already has a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel currently has over 15,000 or 20,000 subscribers already. We want to grow that to hundreds of thousands in the next 12 months, and a lot of content coming on board. So we're really, really excited about that. Also, we'll be coming up with 2 food bank as part of, I'm sure some of you who are used to us know we do a lot of charity. We have our food program for indigent people, for widows we do. You'll be glad to know we've given bursary to more than 10,000 people in the last 16 years who have been part of that. So this food issue is a major issue that we are really concerned about. And we have a new, for the Stephen Akitayo Foundation, our vision is to hopefully feed 1 billion people in the next 50 years. Right? So this is a long-term vision. And we're started because we are now a registered foundation both in the US and in Nigeria. And we're intentionally having the food bank in the US as well as in Nigeria, so that as we stabilize with the US food bank, any excess we have in the US can always come, like clothing, because we also have a shop we're being creative about it. There'll be a cheap shop where you can just donate clothes and all of that, and just sell, right? And some of those things, that are not perishable can constantly be brought to Nigeria. And even some of the donations to our US food bank, if we have it in excess, we can donate it to our Nigerian food bank, because the structure, we want to encourage government to pick up this structure that US has. In the US, every money you spend, right, as a company on charity is tax deductible. We don't do that in Nigeria. So we know that our food bank in the US, once we start, all these big companies will just easily, because for them it's either they pay the tax or they're able to do charity, and then that's even PR for their company. So we know that the US food bank will be sustainable as soon as we start it. But we're worried that it will be a lot difficult to sustain the one in Nigeria, right? Hence, we're hoping the US one will also be able to support the food bank here in Nigeria. Because some people have been saying, why US? You'll be shocked to know that 1 out of every 5 child in America is suffering from food crisis, right? Yes, in America. Okay? So it's not only in Nigeria that there are food problems. So particularly Houston, a lot of poor, challenged families there, and we're hoping, particularly minority communities. Hello, one house. Minority communities expresses this, and we're hoping the food bank will be able to help with that. But we also are doing that in Nigeria. Today, we're still doing a book launch here. Some of you can wait. You are invited to be part of that. I'm donating all the proceeds from my new book to the food bank. If you have a copy of the book, can I say? So we have this one, the ABC of real estate investment, the ABC of America's real estate investment. So this is one of the books to be launched today. The second one is the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook. It's the second book to be launched today. So the profits from these 2 books all goes towards the food bank. And we're going to be pushing aggressively in the next. So we're hoping that at least by the end of 2025, the food bank should be ready. We're also looking, by the way, you guys can help us push it out there. We're looking for a warehouse within Ogba, Ikeja, or Egun axis, right, that we can either do lease to own, long lease to own.
I think Mrs. Larson has that connection. So please.
So either we do long lease to own. But by the way, the same we want to do in the US as well. So any warehouse that is suitable for such, that we can, either lease for a long time while we then start paying for the properties, for the ownership. You can do like a 5-year lease, and within that 5 years, you complete the payment for the property itself. So that's what we're looking for, so that we get that quickly. We start renovation, we set it up, and then, hopefully before the end of 2025, we're all back.
Big round of applause for that. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to the food bank in Nigeria. Is it going to be open to people that are not indigent and people that are not needy? Some people are asking. I think Mrs. Awansin is interested. So thank you very much, members of the press, and then to our beautiful GTextHomes staff and management. We thank you for being here. I think that's all for tonight.
No question, right? We're good.
For the food bank, no questions. Okay, thank you very much. And this brings the press conference to a close. Thank you very much. Fantastic.